Years ago, I was different than today. I had a loud mouth, had so many things to say. My hair was shorter and I promised it would stay. I'll never touch it till that day you came.
Okay. Let's turn off the music. And turn that off. Right, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another of these streams that I do. This really nice thingies. Okay, well, what was I going to say? Hello, is Linton Bell? Alright. If that's your username, that's cool with me. Just don't put weird usernames, please. Because I was seeing some streamers that were being trolled. It was really fun to watch, but I don't think I want to go through that. Okay. Hey guys, so today I want to do something a little bit different. Something that I've been looking a lot into because me and a friend are planning to do an application. We're looking into UIs and stuff like that. So yep, sorry for that. So yeah, we were looking into UIs and we wanted to do something really modern and stuff, and it's something that I've been trying to get to. So we want to do something like that today. You don't mind? So let me see. I think I didn't change the topic for today. Let me do that. Okay, there we go. So let's see what is happening. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat. I'll be answering any questions you guys have. Where's my page? This thing is weird sometimes. Let me just do this. I guess it's faster. All right. So first of all, just to remind you that we have our really cool courses here. If you want to take one of those, that'll be really sweet. Also about tab 2, I want to tell you about this. Our tool currently is being tested by a really well-known and cool people in the industry. But also, this is the last week of the pre-sale, so if this Friday, the 25th, is the last day. Hi, MES. What's up, dude? Move my microphone a little bit. So Friday is the last day, actually. So you won't be able to get it at a discounted price after that. Um, so yeah, after Monday it will be the new version. Uh, whatever we fix this week, it's gonna be the current version, and that's it for that. It's gonna be done for the first version that we wanted to make public, and then we're gonna start developing the other features that we have uh, for this tool, which is gonna be really cool. I also like the logo that I did. Turned out pretty cool. I love that one. I did this in Houdini and rendered with Redshift. I think it turned out pretty good. Alright, so that's about it for that. So what we're gonna do today is so this guy, which is called Stas Smirnov, does this really cool designs, and I love the way he does these designs. You can see this looks pretty cool, and I was wondering, this is just this is 2D, but this one he actually is. This one is one that I really liked. Let me zoom into that a little bit more. Oh, that's worst. Like that, I guess. That's all I can do. So I like this, and it looks pretty 3D. And there's a lot of movies that is using a lot of these elements. So it might be cool to. I can see it. I can see how to do this really quickly in Houdini, actually. So I was thinking we can do something like this, which would be really cool. And you can see he says he used Modo for this, actually. So yeah, he actually did this in 3D, which looks pretty cool. I think a lot of this kind of design is being done in 3D these days, and then render as just as illustration. You can see here all of these parts were made in Modo, which is cool. So I'm gonna try to do something like this. You can see it's just like the net shader kind of thingy going on, and Houdini is perfect to do for doing something like this. So let's try to do something. Let's see what we can come up with. This is what I'm gonna be trying to do, something like this. It's not gonna be exactly the same thing, but that's what I'm going to try to do. All right, so let's start with that. In Houdini, let's drop a circle. Hey, Steven. What's up, Steven? So let's call this GUI. And this is gonna be our first element. This is gonna be super simple, actually. So let's try to do. Let me just do a line, and then which is what I'm thinking is just do whatever I'm gonna do here. Just render it as a poly frame, polywire. Sorry, polywire. So this is what I'm thinking. Let me make this polygon and give it more divisions. So this is one way we could do it. Let's test this, and let's put like 8 divisions on this, but let's make this really thin. So you can see we can do this kind of a element really quickly, or we could render the curves directly. But let's see what we get with this. First, I think we should just do like is there in the principal shader, is there like, I don't remember if there is like an emission shader. Well, there's the tune shader could work, but let's not do it that way. Let's just use let's just do the base color to black. And we could put something in the emission of this, which it should have an emission as I remember, doesn't it? It doesn't have an emission? Oh, it's here. Yeah, its emission color is here. So let's make this this kind of a pink color there. Let's see if we can pick that color. Nah, picked like the wrong one. Nah, damn it. Let's see if there's a bigger area that I can pick it from. Let's see, try here. There we go. Okay, so we are giving that as the emission, and let's assign this color to this guy. See, we're just testing first, see how this is gonna turn out. You can see there's already the color there. Looks pretty similar. So let's we're gonna use mantra today. Mantra and render to end play. So we should have something looking cool. All right, yeah, that looks cool. All right, the other thing we can do is let's keep that image there, but let's put it over here. And the other thing we can do is just render the curve directly, make it a nerves curve. Primitive. Why is it not open arc? There we go. Let's see if we can render that like that. It should render. So there you go. You can see it renders the line directly. So we could do that for these little lines that we are gonna be using there, for stuff like lines that are just floating about. But this thing always gets that kind of a highlight, but which I don't like. It kind of assigns like a default shader to the light. So let's see if we can get rid of that in the shader here. Reflectivity, let's put it to 0. Let's see if that fixes this. Yeah, sure, you can do this in Redshift as well, but not rendering the curves directly. But you could render it with using a polywire. So Redshift doesn't support the curves directly. Now the curves, you can see they have thickness, so we can control the thickness with an attribute, and that attribute is width. I always write this wrong. So the width is the attribute that controls this curve. You can see. Let's do it here. Why are we just not using this? Okay, some weird issue there. I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, you can see this guy. It's controlling the width. This is to. You can see, yeah, there we go. We're controlling the width already for the for this guy. There we go. That can be a way of doing this. But I think I'm gonna make a mix of the two right now, because there are some curves, but there's also some. Oh, come on. Why did I lose that? There's some curves, but there's also a lot of surfaces that are occluding the other pieces. So I'm gonna do both techniques actually. So I'm gonna do this for the curves using the width attribute, and then do the other parts with the with just meshes. So let's do the bulk of this with a tube. Oh, before I forget, actually, let's go to here. before I forget, we recently changed the rewards for the $10 tier at Patreon. So now, if you are supporting us on Patreon with $10 or more, you will have a chance to win some of our courses in the on our page. So hint, there's just a few people going on that. Most people are on the $5 amount. So if you aren't here, you should get to that, because we are going to we're going to be giving away a training course every single month. So for $10 you can get a free, well, a really cheap course actually. So if you are not supporting us with $10 or above, you can do it today and get a chance to win that. You have the rest of this month to be able to win the price of this month, which is going to be announced like the first days of next month. That's how Patreon works. So yeah, that's it for that. Back to working here. So all right, I'm having some. Let's not assign the shader here, because everything is looking the same way. But or we can make it different pieces. I don't know. Let's put this in the Z-axis. I'm gonna try to create it in this axis, like the example there. Let's just get out of the camera for now. I'm gonna do this with polygons, and let's do a bunch of divisions. We don't really care about this. It's gonna be okay. So let's do the end caps. So for these guys are kind of there's a lot like cylinders here. Let's do one of these guys. Let's do something like this area right there, like this. So this is gonna be really simple, just extruding a few faces here. So let me select this face. Why is happening? What is happening? Poly modeling. Thought this had okay. X, no, C. Poly extrude that. Insert that. Let me start with the big one. Q to repeat, something like that. I think that was a little bit too big, so let me back up. This is great about modeling Houdini. You can go back to the previous extrude and just modify it. Whatever came after that, it will be will respond to that. Okay, now we are going to make just something similar, not completely the same, but it's gonna look like I said, similar. Set. And I think sometimes this thing goes inside, so let's do it like that. Okay, so that's one of those. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. This has like 5 different things. So let me continue then. Like another insert here, Q, and keep adding those rings there. Just modeling normally like in any other application. I'm just pressing Q to repeat the extrude, which is really fast. And I'm gonna do the last one in like that. Alright, so this is gonna be the first piece of this. Actually, I want to make this area. Whoa. Yeah, this is a bug. Somebody reported this bug recently. Yeah, look at that. Weird bug. Okay, now that's gonna make it hard for me to select this guy. Stupid bug. Let's see if edges works. Okay, I can select this edge. Why is this not working? Shift A. Damn it. Oh man, this version seems to be a little bit broken. Okay. Yeah, look at that. It's selecting something else. What the hell? Is this just me? I don't know. Let's go back to the modeling operations here and try to do it that way. This guy. Not the distance, but the inset. Nope, that's not the one. This one. Let's make the inset a little bit bigger, and then this one, it's okay. I want that one is okay. I want this one to be smaller. And yeah, I'm gonna go for that. I think it's a little bit too big now. No, that's not the one. Something like that. I don't know why this thing is freaking broken. Should report the bug. Alright, so that's what I want to do there. Okay. So now the way I'm gonna render this, as you can see, I have a bunch of things here. I could just select all these guys and just put them in into one node, so I don't have to do that all the time. You can see I have that there, and it's just one node. So I'm gonna do a poly wire with that, and the poly wire is just gonna create wires all over the place, but I don't really want that. I just want the corners of this, although this could be cool to do. Like let's merge these two pieces here. You can see that will create kind of like a wireframe. We can create a color on this, make it the color we have here in the emission. Copy parameter, paste values, and you can see that is gonna give us like a wireframe of this. But this is not the way this is done. This is just like it's just getting the rings of this, kind of the edges. So let's see, we can group the edges of this, or just delete the edges. Let's see if we can get. I'm gonna try the convert method. This is something I do sometimes. Let's convert this to NURBS curves. And that's also something that you can use. It's really cool. Just creates like a circle for each face. Sometimes I do that, or just create a circle there. You can play with this stuff. Makes it really fun to create stuff. Let's see what I do. It's make it a NURBS surface. What was I doing? And then I just get the rows, or is it the columns in this case? Yes, there we go. So there we go. This thing always happens, like the rings just get lost like that. So also I have too much rows, so let me just do that. This always happens when I convert this to curves. Like they go to black for some reason. I don't know why. So basically, if you didn't catch what I did, I convert this to NURBS and then just get the columns of this, basically. What is this thing there? I don't know. Let's see if we get. Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird thing there. So let's now we can polywire those areas, or actually we can. There's another node for if we don't want to make these curves into polygons. There's another node that is just called Wireframe, and that works with curves, or it should work with curves. Seems like it's not working. So let's just convert this. Again, convert. I'm gonna convert this to polygons. And no, sorry, I want to convert this to curves first. Convert this to NURBS curves. There we go. And now we can use the wireframe. This should be working now. That's weird. Let's try converting this back. Convert. There's, I think, the NURBS curve. Interpolate to holes. Convert this to polygon. What the hell is happening here? I'm missing something. Some step here. NURBS curve. Damn it. Michael Murdoch. No, I might not be. May not be aware of his work. Oh yeah, I've seen his work. Yeah, I've seen this stuff. Yeah, he does pretty cool stuff. And he does it sometime kind of like what I'm doing here. Yeah, his stuff is great. All right, let me remember how I convert this to curves, because I have the curves here. Okay, I want to delete the. I want to delete the primitives. I had two primitives. Why is this happening? Because I have surfaces, so let's see what I did wrong here. I want just the columns. NURBS curve. This is not giving me what I want. It's giving me everything, right? I want the NURBS surface. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm not giving it to preserve the original thing, so not sure why that it's showing up. Also, I think there's an issue here on the last. Let me just do here this thing. Let me extrude this. Oh my god, can't believe there's a freaking bug in this version. Is it my Wacom tablet? No, it is the freaking bug. Let's see. Poly extrude. Primitive 1 inside. Oh crap, the primitives are wrong, totally wrong. Okay, let's see if that fixes this issue. There we go. Yeah, now it fixed that issue. All right, so we have these corners. Let's see if we can. Did I do it with an add? I do sometimes crazy things. Then convert. This is not what I want. How many sides does this have? 50. Skipped every 51. 51? No. How much points are on this guy? Oh, there's some points there that are causing some issues as well. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Okay, so convert to Viscere curve and then convert this to curves. This is looking weird. This is weird. Okay, I'm not deleting anything here. Okay, I'm just trying to get just the rings of this. And let's see what I'm doing here wrong. Convert this to polygons. No. Damn it. How did I do this the other day? Nerves curves should already be nerves curves. Damn it. I'm getting stuck here. So those are Bezier curves. Wireframe. Let's see if it's working now. No, it's not. Stupid thing. I don't know what's happening now. In caps. It might be this version of Houdini that has issues. I don't know. Why is this version so freaking buggy? Okay, so another way we could do it is the edge group to curve. We could do that, but let's try to get the edges first. So group create. Let's see if this does it, because I'm pretty sure I did it with this method, and you can see the curves are there. But I'm not sure why this thing is not letting me. Hey Santosh, what's up? Santi, hey Santi, sorry, missed you there. So let's try to group the edges by the normals, and the edges that are greater than 90. Let's see if we can get the edges. I know I've done this before. You can see, there we go. Okay, there we go. So now we have only the corners here, and that's what I wanted. So let's use this is gonna use the game dev tools here. So I didn't. Oh yeah, I need to. Let's call this edges group. So game dev didn't create the tool for some reason. Come on. Edge group to curve. What? Edge group to curve. Let's see if this one works. And there is, okay, here no entries. Weird. Edges group. There we go. You need to type the name there. It seems like it's not working for some reason. So now we could do that. Yeah. All right. So now this is working. Now I gotta see how Luis is doing this. Pretty sure Luis did this asset. So he's getting a group, getting a wrangle. It's creating. I think it's creating the group. Convert line. Okay. Polypath. All right. Well, I'm gonna trust him. Looks alright. Looks cool. So, well, let's not do this way then. So now we have that, and we can merge it back with the one we had, which is this, right? So we don't want this polywire actually, so I'm not actually gonna use this. Nope, don't use that. So let's add a color, but the color is wrong. But yeah, there you go. We have the edges now there, and the color is this kind of cyan color. Let's just do it cyan because I like that color. So let's make this pink, and this is gonna be cyan. So I'm just gonna be copying that node around, so I don't have to be changing it all the time. So I like cyan. And let's use another color. That's not what I wanted. This is gonna be black because the geometry is black. And I'm gonna show you what I do. So there we go. Look at that. That's looking cool. That's looking cool. So now that we have that, we could just modify it. But since this is kind of broken, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna copy this guy and merge it here. So I'm just gonna merge this, put a transform here and move it around. Just gonna do let's rotate it 180 to make it look a little bit different, and maybe scale it down. Maybe actually let's the middle one be bigger. Kinda like that. And then we make another copy of this, and so I'm just making a mock-up of this, not just gonna do that and make it smaller, put it here like it's connected or something. So that should give us all the edges. Oh, it's not giving us the last one. That's weird. Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Alright, cool. Alright, so let me save this. Save this Google Chrome desktop. What? LearnDay modern GUIs. Let's see. Amado, hello. What's up, Amado? Oh, thank you, Santi. Santi saying the tab 2 is amazing, and I mean awesome, and yeah, it is awesome. You should try it, guys. You should give it a go. So okay, so this is what we have so far, which you can see it's starting to look like what this thing is. Has these rings with other triangles there, so we can actually let me to give it some variation here without too much effort. I'm gonna create another tube, make it into polygons. Again, a lot of that thing. Let's make it in the z-axis with caps. I'm gonna make it not like that. The radius I'm gonna change. I'm gonna actually connect it here and see the result. And I want to put it here. Just get it somewhere and give it some variation there. Maybe even let's what can we do with this? Maybe create a copy. Some copies of this. Copy and transform, maybe. Let's just put it in place. No, I don't want to put it in place. I want to have it there and give it some copies. Just I'm trying to give it some randomization here. You can see you have some of them are over here, which is cool. I like there some other copies there, but there's those are too far away. And now this guy is too far away. Move it over like that. Alrighty, we can scale down the copies, maybe scale them up, maybe. Let's see, these copies are maybe too far away. Let's do that. I'm just trying to give it some variation here. Let's make this bigger. Yeah, I like that. Look at that. That looks more like it's going into a direction. I'm not specifically copying what the concept has, but just want something that it's looking like what we are looking at. Don't really love it. So let's try something that is not scaling, and just try like a few copies of this, like something like that. Don't really love that idea, but it's pretty cool and pretty fast to just try it, which is cool. All right, so now we have to let's create those rings with I think it's like cubes, like flipped cubes. Let's do that really quickly. So let's create a circle. Let's make it bigger. Let's put make it polygons. Make it a lot of points there. I think we're gonna need more points in this, maybe. So we have a bunch of points. Yeah, that's good. And we're going to copy 2 points. CP, copy 2 points. We need a box, and we need a transform there in the box and there. So let's we have that. We don't have normals on the circle, so you can see if I make this guy smaller, you can see they are all pointing in the same direction. So let's just add normals to this, and the normals to the points should fix this. Let's see what happened. The normals are going in this direction, so let's use the I think the facet gives it outside normals. No. Okay, so what was the way to do this? Do the outside? How did I do this? Anyone remembers? I'm kind of let's try the polyframe. Polyframe might give us the right normals if we put it in the tangent. Right? There you go. Yeah. There you go. We can have normals like that, or we can put it in the B. It's gonna be pointing in the way on the around the curve, but we don't want that. We want it to point like that right now. So that's all we need for the boxes. But right now they are weird, so let's just put another normal here. So now we can scale this guy. Whoa, it's not working. Okay, hello. So the normals, oh, I had another normals node there after, so that was my mistake there, sorry. But this should be working now. So now, oh, what the hell? This is not working. They are also in a weird place. So I did that actually. That was me. Whoa, that looks pretty cool. Look at that. Oh my god, that looks pretty cool. So let's fix this. Let's make this guy smaller. So the normals don't have they are good, but they don't have an up direction. So let's make this guy the up vector, and now that should fix this. Okay, that's not the right angle that we want. You want to make this smaller. There we go. So now they're pointing in the right direction. We also don't want them to be super thick in this direction, like that. We want them to be bigger, and we want to rotate them at the very end. That's why I had this transform, because I want to rotate them like that. pretty cool. And we can use the polywire with this directly. No need to do any funky stuff. Here, let's just plug this to the polywire here, and we should get the edges of this, which would be that cyan color as well. We can assign that cyan color like that, and just just give it. Hey, the normals are. What am I doing here? I think Houdini is failing a lot today. Let's see if there is a problem with the normals. Yeah, that it was a problem with the normals somehow. Vertices don't really care because this is gonna be like shaded in one color, so that's good. I think this box might be a little bit too small. Maybe all right, that looks cool. So we need to merge this with the actual one from here. Let's put the normals down over here because we want the geometry and the line. So let's copy the black node and put it there. That's what we have there. All right, that's looking cool. Now we need to make some copies of this, so I'm going to compress these to a node, and let's call these boxes. And I'm gonna kind of do the same thing that I did with this copy node and merge this here. Oh, come on, merge node, come with me. All right, so now we have that. This thing, and it's a normals here, normal node. Okay, so now that is looking cool. I think this thing, it's a little bit too big, so let's put a transform here and make it smaller and move it in this axis. So there we go. All right, cool. I don't want them to be touching like that. All right, so now that's starting to look like what we have there. Cool, awesome. Right, that these are these guys here. There's some other ones here in front, so let's like do, we can do it from, make another transform here maybe. Dude, I'm doing weird stuff today. Connect that and put it over here. I'll make it smaller. Put it there and create another. Let's just create another copy of this and move it in front like that. Woo! Ah. Yeah, modeling Houdini, it's pretty cool, man. Once you start making some progress with this stuff, it's kind of slow to start, but once you have some stuff, you can start getting really cool things. Like, let's say I want less boxes on this one. I can make a copy of this, and let's say, all right, I want less copies on that one. Give me 80 or maybe even 50, and all the setup we did, it's there. So it didn't change at all, and that's it. We can even do something different here. Let's say I want to maybe not do that. You know, yeah, let me make this box circles or spheres, and instead of doing Normals here, let's just say spheres. This will be way simpler because we don't even need this polyframe at all. No need that, no need that, no need any of this actually. Let me just delete all that stuff. And I'm just gonna put spheres there, polygon. And let's give it the color that we have here, the other one, the pink one. Which is the pink color here? Pink. Let's give it pink here inside this node here. And now we can use this element as well to give it more detail here. Let's just put a transform there. And let's put it, let's make it go kind of like that maybe, and just make it a little bit smaller maybe, like that. We have then we can just create more copies of this just by duplicating the transform and making it over there. And another one over here by itself maybe, like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool to just do stuff like this really quickly in Houdini. All right, so now let's start doing those other rings that we started creating here. Actually, we created one there. I'm gonna do something different here. Let's make a line actually. So I wanna add a lot of circles along the like this circles here. I want to add like a bunch of them in one go. So instead of doing it by hand, I'm gonna create a line in the C direction. And now I'm gonna make this big. Let's make sure we cover the whole thing. So we're starting here. Let's make it a little bit backwards, like there. And I want to cover the whole thing lengthwise. So did I save? Even go a little bit over, and then I just have 2 points on that line at the moment. So now I'll just hide everything else. You can see now we have just 2 points. So I want to add more points to this. And what I'm going to do is a copy 2 points again. I'm going to copy this circle. So now you can see I'm going to have a bunch of circles along that line. But there's a bunch of things wrong here. They are just one simple tube. So it doesn't look interesting. So what we can do is start randomizing stuff with this thing. So one thing is, since we're copying 2 points, we can just say p scale, and p scale, it's gonna be random. And look at that, that already looks pretty cool just by randomizing p scale. And we can say I want this much, the biggest one will be as big as this value, and the smaller ones will be as small as this value. So now even with just that, if we just merge this, you can see this is gonna look at that. We already just make a lot of real variation with just very simple stuff. We didn't so that just gave us a lot of copies there, which is pretty cool. So we can do the same with let's just copy this setup actually, make a copy, and just randomize this line. This line was like all the points are just the same length. So what I do sometimes to make these points, you can see the points are just like evenly spaced. So what I do is just do the point jitter, PGA, point jitter. Yeah, this is one of the cool things about tab 2. Just press the 2 letters of the tool, P for point and J for jitter, and you get the tool faster. And that the point jitter just makes it look like crap. Or it looks cool if you want to do that, but you can control it in, you can just make it work in a simple axis. In this case, we want just to move them along the Z axis, so don't do it in X and don't do it in Y. So now you can see we have points that are not strictly evenly spaced. So now we can have different separations of that oh man, those those circles there. You can see even if you go to the point jitter and give it more seed, that would be, even if you animate this, maybe that would be cool to animate that. You can see that looks cool if you animate, even if you animate that thing there. We are not going to animate it, I guess. So you can also change the scale here and get more variation out of that. We can also randomize the P scale here. We can also randomize the width of this. You can see, remember, if, or another thing you can do, instead of jitter, you can scale this. I mean, you can scatter points along the line. So you can see if I have, so let's connect this stuff as well. So you can see with just a little bit of work, we are creating a lot of variation there, and it's looking pretty cool. It took a lot of time to model these pieces internally and stuff, but there are just lines. I'm just getting results so quickly. And let's randomize the P scale here so it doesn't look exactly like the other one. You can see we have different there, but you can see some lines here are a little bit more thicker than others. And as I said before, we can use the width attribute to control that. So actually, I can actually not control the width here and put the width on the points as well and randomize it. Randomize the width here, and let's put the name width and make sure you type it correctly. And I think this is already gonna do something. Let's try it. Let's see if we are doing it right. Just put this in frame and go to the render view. The shader is gonna look weird because I didn't. So yes, you can see now that the width it's different for each one of these curves. But it's too much. It's going out up to 1, so let's not do it. Let's not make it go all the way up to 1, and not make it a vector. Actually, let's make it just one value, not 3 values. Sorry. So let's make the smaller value 0.2 and the bigger value, let's say 0.5. And now is that working? Let me see if that is working, because I see little variation here. Let's make this one smaller, or maybe make this one bigger. Yeah, it is working. You can see there's a difference there. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, and we're just varying an attribute here really quickly. So there we go. We have some that are, I want them to be bigger. Kind of like that. You can see it is working, which is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. All right, so let's stop that render and man, sorry, my arms hurt. Went to the gym in the morning and it was cool. Alrighty, so let's see what we have so far. That is what we have. I'm gonna try to render this so we can answer some questions here. So you can see we are kind of there. We didn't we have more details to do and stuff, but we are getting there, right? This already looks cool in the viewport. So let's see, is there any questions? Hey Hamad, sorry I miss you. I meet you there when you say hi. This kind of work is exactly what I want. Oh, cool, John. I'm glad you are interested in this kind of work. I like this kind of work a lot. How can you invert the selection? Making a group with the node group and using keep by normals. But I can select some faces, but I want to select the faces that are not selected. Oh, to select the faces, let's do like a sphere, I guess. To invert the selection there's just a shortcut. Let's say, so if you select anything, you can press Shift, what is it? I always forget. You can right click on it and you can see invert selection is Control I, sorry. Control I, invert the selection. Yeah. There's also some other functions there. I really love the select boundary. That is pretty amazing. Polygon edge, which is super cool. So yeah, that's what you can do here. You can grow the selections, you can convert the selection and all the stuff that you can do with other applications as well. So yeah, just press Ctrl I and you can invert the selection. Okay, so we have this guy. What I'm gonna do here is something that I do a lot when I'm rendering stuff that is just constant. So you can see before we did this guy with this shader, but we don't need all this bells and whistles of that shader. And I think there's still a constant shader here. So let's look for it. It's over under, here it is, the constant shader. Let's put it here. So the constant shader does nothing, basically, or just renders one color, but it takes the point colors. It uses point colors and the alpha. So this is the shader that we're gonna use. You can see if we render this first, we haven't assigned this yet. We go to the render view. We're not gonna have a really cool results here. You can see we have specularity. If you want this look, go ahead and use it. It looks cool. So if you want kind of something that has a specularity, you can use it. We could add a light actually to help the specularity. Let's add a directional light from the top here, like that, and go to the camera again, and it should direct the specularity. Now you can see that's what's happening there. But now we have shadows, and if we could actually remove the shadows, since we're using this for just creating a UI, maybe we don't want any shadows, and we can get rid of them. But you can see there's some dark areas, and I don't really love that look. So if we're going for this kind of look, we just need to make it completely. Let me take a snapshot of that. Completely just emissive color, constant color. So we don't even need that light for what I'm gonna do. And what I'm gonna do is just assign the material here, the constant material. And now we can render, and we didn't change anything on the constant. You can see now all the colors show up exactly as they are in the images, and you can see the curves have thickness, some of them have thickness, and everything just looks exactly as we made it. So the constant shader would just basically render everything with the colors you put here inside. So basically all these colors are the ones driving that. So this black, I don't want it to be as black. Let's just give it some gray there. And actually, let's see how it looks in the image. I think it has like a post glow on the thing. That's why it looks a little bit like that. So just gonna trying to get it off black a little bit, but or maybe it have glow illumination or something. Not sure what they did it, but yeah. So now you can just control the colors here, and that's how it's gonna show up in the final render. So basically, you're just creating the colors there. So yeah, that doesn't look cool actually. But we could try something like a little bit kind of bluish. Oh no, that was cool actually. Let's go back. Kind of like that. Yeah, that kind of looks like what we can see here a little bit. Some of them are a little bit like purplish. So yeah, you can see this is looking great. What I'm missing here, we can even add a line here. Let's copy this line. We already have it there. We can put it here. Make it color. Make it white. I just want to make that white. Make it a little bit bigger, so it renders in the middle there, like that. That's too big. Let's just contract that a little bit. So there we go. And let's see the render. Oh, the line is not okay. This line, I forgot the width attribute here. So let me copy the width attribute of this. Is it? Or maybe, yeah, this is a polygon line. We need a nerves line. That should update, doesn't it? Why is it not rendering the line? Maybe. Does it still need the width attribute? Because it should give it default. Yeah, there we go. So there's the line. It is a little bit too thick. We can do that. And there you go. You can add more stuff to this. Hey, Carla. Oh, thank you for that. So yeah, you can keep adding more stuff to this, but this is the way you would do it. Something like this. This looks pretty cool. And oh, actually, he does have kind of those little points there. But yeah, you can do all this stuff like that. And he has a lot more examples there. Let's make this smaller. Or close-ups to this, and you can see this is really cool as well. Some boxes. So yeah. Also for those boxes, maybe we could actually, let's add like a box. And if you want to add this box, and you're saying like, all right, I want to add the corners of this box. I show you a way to do it. But let's say if we model something on this box, let's say we put a poly extrude here, poly extruded like this, and then we modify these points like that, and again select this face here. Oh, the poly extrude is what's breaking this. Damn it. Yeah, totally breaking it. It's changing the weird order of the faces. Okay. So now we can actually see poly extrude. So let's say you have something like this, and you want to get the edges. You could do the same thing we did, or you could actually use a poly bevel as well, and bevel the edges like that, and don't even have to make it any division, just one, and then you can output a group out of those edges. Let's make a color, or actually use the colors we have here. So we had a black color somewhere here. Let me copy that, and let's copy the pink color here. So we have a black color that we can add to everything there, which is actually now kind of a purplish. And this pink, we can add it just to the edges that we bevel there. Those guys there, which it seems like it's not doing that. Maybe in the render they look like they are. Oh, do it to primitives. Put it on the primitives. So this one, do it to primitives as well. Let's see. Those are just the corner. Oh, all right. Yeah. There's the corners and there's the edges there. So there we go. Now you can see we kind of have like the same kind of effect. So, and the great thing about the bevel is that you can get rid of these guys as well. Just ignoring the flat edges here, making this guy handling this angle there. And there we go. We have just the edges of that as well, like just the corners. So that's another trick that you can use for that. Let me connect this here. See where it is. And this is not looking good. Somewhat weird. Transform and move it over somewhere, maybe in at the front, just to see it. And rotate it 90 degrees. Let's see if that is working. In the render, it's looking weird. Yeah, it's white for some reason. It's complaining about not having some attributes. It's working there, but not here. Yeah, merge that sometimes. It just doesn't like your attributes, and you have to just fix the attributes that are not matching, since there's a bunch of attributes somewhere. Oh, it's because the color it's on the primitives on this one, and all the other color we used, it was on the points. That's why it's complaining about that. So, but there you go. I think that is a successful build. And yeah, cool. Hey, Mary boy, what's up, man? What's up, boy? Okay, I guess that's gonna be it for today. I'm really happy I did this, or we did it together. Yeah, and you can even go to colors and modify them, etc. But maybe you can add some tint with this if you want to add like a global tint to the whole thing. You can do this. You can do it here, but just lower the intensity so it doesn't just kill everything. You can see I can give it a pink tint, an orange tint. You can try different variations really quickly here. Let's give it like a purplish kind of thing. Well, it's kind of pink. Yeah, you can see that looks a lot like this one. It has like that kind of tonality. Kind of faded away a little bit. So cool. There you go. I like that. I like that. All right. That's it. I was seeing if there was any question, but they are not. They're not. So yeah, we can see it side by side, and you can see, yeah, we did a pretty good job there. The colors don't match exactly, but we did a little good job. This is just taken to maybe Photoshop or something, give it a little bit of glow and stuff, and you're good. You are good to go, my friend. This to white, yeah, looks pretty similar. We need to make some of these pieces that are broken and all those areas like that to make it more interesting. But I think we did it really well. Okay. All right. So hopefully you can see the advantage of doing something like this in Houdini. You have all the power of Houdini. You can make assets of this and just create a bunch of assets and just drop them, put parameters on it, and modify them a lot, and it will just make you really efficient doing this kind of work. So yeah, cool. Hey, the aquarium space. Yeah, man. As soon as I finish, which is gonna be in like 2 minutes, you can watch the replay. All right, guys. I'll see you next week. Have a nice week. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. All right. Let's keep learning together. Cheers. YouTube.